I thought it was harmless, just a stupid joke, something I could laugh off later. But instead, it was the moment I lost everything. I'm Rachel, 33 years old, and 6 months ago, I had it all. A caring, loyal husband who adored me, a stable marriage built on years of trust, and a job I loved where I worked closely with an attractive, charismatic coworker. Now I have nothing. My husband is gone. My coworker wants nothing to do with me. And the worst part? Everyone thinks I deserved it, all because of one careless comment. A joke I made in front of the wrong person. A moment of thoughtless humor that made my husband walk away without a fight. Every morning, I wake up wishing I could take it all back. Ethan was the perfect husband. He wasn't the flashiest guy in the room, but he was solid, dependable, and kind. He never forgot our anniversary, always kissed me goodbye before work, and brought me coffee in bed on weekends just because he loved me completely. And for a long time, I loved him back. Then I met Adam. Adam was my coworker. Charming, confident, and flirty in a way that made me feel wanted. And I let it get to me. I started comparing Ethan to him. Adam worked out more. Adam was more adventurous. Adam made me laugh in ways Ethan didn't. I never wanted to cheat, but I started seeing my husband as less exciting, less interesting, less of a man. And the worst part? I didn't even try to hide it. One day, I took it too far and I lost everything. It happened at a casual work event. A group of us had gathered for Friday night drinks, just unwinding after a long week. Ethan was busy with work, so he didn't come, but Adam was right there beside me, laughing, teasing, being his usual charming self. Then someone brought up relationships. One of my coworkers, half drunk, smirked and asked, "Okay, if you had to choose one guy in this office to run away with, who would it be?" Everyone laughed. The other women joked about celebrities or made playful answers. And then someone asked me. I should have brushed it off. I should have said no one. But instead I smirked, glanced at Adam, and said, loud enough for everyone to hear, "Well, let's be real. If I had to choose, it definitely wouldn't be my husband." Laughter, teasing. I was buzzed from the drinks, riding the high of the moment. But what I didn't realize, someone at that table had recorded it. 2 days later, that recording found its way to Ethan. I had no idea anything was wrong until I walked into the house and found him sitting at the table, phone in hand. His face was calm, too calm. "Did you have fun at your work event?" he asked, his voice unreadable. I hesitated. "Yeah, why?" Without a word, he hit play, and there it was, my own voice, laughing, saying I'd never choose him. My stomach dropped. "Ethan, I was just joking," I blurted out. He exhaled, shaking his head. "No, Rachel, you weren't." Then he stood up, walked past me, and said just one thing before heading to the bedroom. "I finally get it now." And that's when I knew I had broken something I could never fix. Ethan didn't shout. He didn't argue. He didn't demand an explanation. He just stood there, looking at me like he was seeing me for the first time, like he finally realized who I really was. Then he nodded to himself. "Okay," he said. That was all. And then he turned and walked into our bedroom. I stood frozen in the kitchen, my heart pounding. I expected him to cool off, to come back out and say, "Let's talk about this." But instead, 20 minutes later, he came out holding a duffel bag. "I'll be staying with my brother for a while." "Ethan, wait." I reached for him, but he stepped back. "You don't have to explain, Rachel. You already did." And then he walked out, didn't look back, didn't even slam the door, just left. That's when it hit me. I had just lost the only man who ever truly loved me. And the worst part? It wasn't even for another man. It was for a joke. At first, I told myself Ethan would come back, that he was just overreacting, that I could fix this. But weeks passed. He never called. Then I thought, well, at least Adam might be interested. I was wrong. At work, he barely looked at me. When I tried to flirt, he just laughed it off. And when I finally asked him out for drinks, he said, "Rachel, you're great, but I don't do drama." Just like that, I lost both of them. My husband, my coworker, and my self-respect. I tried to move on. Told myself, fine. If Ethan's gone, I'll just find someone new. So I downloaded dating apps, went out with friends, tried to act like I was living my best life. But something felt different. The men I met weren't like Ethan. They didn't open doors for me. They didn't ask about my day. They didn't make me feel safe. They were just looking for a good time. And then, on a date with a guy I actually liked, I made a mistake. I laughed and said, "Yeah, my ex-husband left me over a joke." He smirked. "What joke?" I hesitated. I, said I wasn't really attracted to him anymore. In front of coworkers. His smile dropped. He leaned back, grabbed his drink, and said, "Damn, that's brutal." That's when I knew I had become the red flag. Even random men on dating apps could see it. I had laughed at the only man who ever truly loved me, and now I was the joke. I don't get a happy ending. I don't get a second chance. Ethan is gone, not just from our home, not just from our marriage, but from my life. And the worst part? He's thriving without me. One day I saw him. I was at a coffee shop, alone, scrolling through my phone. And there he was, smiling, happy with someone new. She was beautiful. She looked at him like he was the only man in the world, the way I should have looked at him. And me? I sat there, feeling completely invisible. Because that's what I was to him now. A mistake from his past. A lesson he had learned. And the irony? I spent so much time thinking he wasn't enough. But now I'm the one no man takes seriously. I mocked him. I praised another man. And now they've both moved on without me. So if you're listening to this, don't make the mistake I did. Because when you treat a good man like he's disposable, he'll find someone who sees his worth. And trust me, regret is a prison you never escape. Goodbye.